Against petrol and paraffin price increases, or PAPI. He's in our Durban studio, and I've got in Johannesburg with me Wayne Duveneg, who is the Chief Executive of the organisation Undoing Tax Abuse, or OUTA. So I want to, before the break, we preempted a conversation about the Road Accident Fund, and we have, and I'm going to put this on the record, we've basically invited them every single day this week to please come in and respond to accusations against them. But every single time we've invited them, they've declined the invitation. So, you know, unfortunately, they're not here to speak for themselves. But this is a very worrying organisation, and I think they've become even more worrying with the petrol price. Every single time we fill up, every litre, we are paying R2 towards this organisation. What are they doing, Wayne? I just need to ask from you. What are they doing for us? Because I have heard from 4 separate people, and this is just 4 separate people this week, that are all waiting on the Road Accident Fund and the money that is owed to them that they have not seen, and it's been years and lawyers and fighting, and they're struggling.
Look, the Road Accident Fund is supposed to be used, and supposed to be very efficiently used to compensate road accident victims for personal injury claims. If you go back 10 years, that fund, that fee in the fuel levy was 45 cents. It's gone up 4-fold in the last decade, and it used to get a revenue of about 9 billion rand. There was a bit of a shortfall there. I think if they had achieved a revenue of about 12 to 15 billion rand, they would have been able to do their job, and they were quite efficient then. Today they get over 40 billion rand. As you say, the price of the fuel levy or the road accident fund's gone up to just under R2 a litre. And what we see is a defunct, absolutely broke organisation that we believe needs a full investigation, an independent investigation, because there is a lot of plundering taking place. This is part of the tentacles of state capture. There's inefficiency, there's poor leadership, there's lack of management, and it is broke. It is getting far too many claims that it can handle. There's obviously the legal element that dips into that pot, and it needs a clean-up. Now, we know the minister has got a plan, and that they're going to start limiting the payouts and so forth, but that's not the solution. What we need is a full investigation into just the admin, the control, the leadership of this fund, because we believe there's corruption going on there.
Viswan, let's bring you into the conversation. The Road Accident Fund, and I think it does take it takes a massive chunk of our money every single litre, every single month goes there. And I know that this is one of the concerns that you're raising. And then, of course, we get reports that come out over the weekend saying that the Road Accident Fund spends 500,000 rand a month to rent just 300 chairs. And this, you know, this has been carrying on forever. And this is money that's owed to the public that you and I are paying for. Now, what can we do about this Road Accident Fund?
Right. We are paying R1.93 for every litre of fuel that we buy towards this Road Accident Fund. We speak about mismanagement, we speak about looting of this fund, we speak about all these things, and we leave it now to government to attend to this. Now, I want to speak to the viewers here and tell the viewers that we are voters in this country. We are the citizens of this country. We elect this government into power. If we leave it in the hands of the government to deal with these problems that we encounter in the Road Accident Fund, that may take forever. The only way we can get government to respond to our demands is when we start to become a pressure group. We put them under pressure. Fees must fall. Our students did that in the country. People were critical. They were making excuses why this could not happen. But today, they were able to get government to heed the call. In the same way, we must remind the government that we put you there. So each of us belongs to different political parties. I'm glad that the ANC has issued a statement in support of our campaign. But at the same time, we must ensure that every member of the ANC or of every political party in this country, we begin to question the parties that we support and what they're doing about this corruption in the Road Accident Fund and about bringing the fuel prices down. I believe it can be brought down. If we are able to control the way we spend, especially around issues like the Road Accident Fund and so on, fuel prices in the country can be brought down. And if the government is not prepared to come around a table and start to take this seriously, I'm afraid they're going to have to face widespread protest action. We've set the 27th of July this year for a national shutdown, where we'll bring the entire country to a complete standstill. if the government does not heed our demands to bring fuel prices down. The first thing it needs to do is deregulate the fuel prices.
Okay, let's talk about that very, very quickly. If you can keep your answer quite short. We've got 2 minutes left of this whole interview. You're talking about a national shutdown. What do you want to do? How is this going to happen? How are you going to get the whole of South Africa to suddenly come to a standstill?
We've learnt in recent years that the only language our government understands is protest action, that language there. So on the 27th of July, we're calling it a national day of prayer and a national day of shutdown. So all vehicles on the road will switch off. There will be no trucks, there will be no buses, there will be no taxis, there will be no vehicles that will be moving anywhere on the 27th of July. We will be praying for the country with all the religious groupings in the country, with all the civic organizations. Every civic body in the country will join hands in bringing the government into their senses to understand that something has to be done to bring the fuel prices down. And that is going to be the form of our peaceful action on the 27th of July this year. I need to inform you,
buy-in from people? Do you think people
so
are going?
Far, the majority of the people.
Sorry, Viswan, I'm just rushing through because we really don't have time. All these organizations you're talking about, are they going to be participating? I mean, come the 27th of July, do you honestly think that this is going to happen?
The fuel price increase affects every one of us. It affects the workers, it affects the scholars, it affects everyone. So every organization in the country that represents people, they should be on board. We are currently in engagement with civil society, with unions, with the taxi associations and others. And I am certain that on the 27th, the South Africans will heed the call, including those who sit at home, those who are not even working. They are all contacting us. They want to be part of this action and say to the government, enough is enough. We need action. We need decisive action. We elect you. You earn good salaries. You have good advisors. You find the solutions.
All right,
you bring the fuel prices down.
We leave it there with you. Thank you very much. Viswan Reddy, National Convener of PAPI. We'll still talk more about that, I imagine, with him. Wayne, quickly, give me a wrap-up. I mean, you've heard the intentions, 27th of July, national shutdown. Do you still believe this is not the way to go?
Well, no, look, protest action happens, and it does happen. This is what's happening right now. You get these movements that come out of situations like this and call for these protests. I think it's a little bit haphazard. I don't believe it is going to actually be effective or actually take place to the extent that he's talking about the country shutting down. But let's see what happens and let it happen if that's what has to happen. We're not necessarily going to participate in that. We are angry about the fuel price and we are engaging with government, and government has to bring the fuel price down. But it's in a way that is sustainable and that it works for the long term as opposed to the knee-jerk reactions that we're seeing happening right now.
All right. Thank you very, very much for joining us here on the program.
Pleasure.
August, another one? Another fuel increase, do you think?
Yeah.
Another one.
The Rand and the...
Everything is pointing in that direction. All right. Okay, we leave it there for now. Of course, you know Wayne Duvenage, he's the Chief Executive Officer of OUTA. It is 8 o'clock. Let us get the latest news. Sakina, I hand this over to you.